Here we go.
Dude, welcome back to the Dudes in Sports Podcast. I'm your host, PC, and we got another great show for you today. We've got most of the crew with us again, as always. Mr. Howard is probably doing something extravagant that we're going to get to later on. But we'll get to the main guys that are always here pretty much every week. Let's start off with the guy from the West, the main man from way out west, Mr. P. Forcer. How are we doing today?
Bad weekend. Very bad weekend, and I'm sure we'll get into why we missed last week soon enough. But this weekend, no bueno. The Mets have been very cold. UFC did not go the way we want. Still got to represent the squad. We got the Subway Series coming up next weekend, and the Yankees have not been hot either. We'll talk about that with K-Stel and the baseball stuff. But yeah, no bueno. Bad week for sports. Got a sunburn in Missouri last weekend. So everything is awful all the time. Hello, folks.
Yeah, I mean, sunburns in Missouri definitely happen, especially when it's always hot here in the summertime. The guy that does know about the summertime, as he lives here currently, the new married man himself, the one that is official out of everybody, Mr. K. Stelzer. How was the wedding? How was the weekend? How's your week going? This last week, I guess.
As you can tell, the moving process is going as predicted. It was honestly way worse coming into this week. Not like in a awful, truly didn't want to be here situation, but just a lot of moving and stuff like that. Other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed the wedding. That was pretty exciting, having the fellas down there. Truly a euphoric moment for me. I loved every bit of it. Probably one of the best days of my life. Top 10 right now. That's a crazy way to put it. Special
2015
day.
World Series or your wedding.
Oh, wedding for sure. Wedding for sure because
This is making sure you get your priorities.
no, absolutely. Absolutely. It was very special.
Because he's on camera.
But yeah, other than that, sports this week.
Don't look at Kyle's tweets at Hunter Dozier.
Other than that, the sports week was kind of meh. Didn't really focus up on a lot of it. When I did focus, I wanted to blow my brains out, so that's about it. KU looks
So the
hot.
only thing going for Kyle was
KU looks hot.
Good marriage.
KU looks hot. The Chiefs are the
Yeah, we'll
Chiefs.
get into the Jayhawks here. That's kind of stuff we're going to get into in the college basketball for sure here. Let's talk a little bit of professional. We did have an NBA draft happen. P4 is very excited since all of his
Three
starting...
in the top 10.
Three in the top 10. Five, the whole starting five was ended up being drafted. Big things for Duke. Obviously, Cooper Flagg goes number one. As everybody thought he was going to. Dylan Harper goes number two to the Spurs. It'll be interesting to see specifically how that goes. At number three was VJ Edgecombe, which is the best athlete other than Cooper Flagg, obviously, but just out of the people that were left on the board, he was definitely the best one. He went to the Sixers. Con Knippy, or Con Knippel, as most people would call him, went to the Hornets, and then rounding out the top five was Ace Bailey.
Did you hear the thing with that?
The Ace Bailey thing?
The way that the Jazz played the Hornets against the Wizards,
Yeah.
where the Wizards GM wanted Ace Bailey, but he knew the Jazz was going to take him, so they had a plan to the Hornets take Ace Bailey at 4, thinking that the Jazz are going to panic and go somewhere else. Then Con's going to be waiting for the Wizards at 6. They'll take Con, and then they'll swap 1 for 1 because the Wizards knew, or I guess the Hornets, I don't know, but you have your own draft board in your head, and then you have the draft board that you think's going to happen. You kind of know what the other teams are thinking, so I'm going to give you the guy that you want. You're going to give me the guy that I want. They're going to not know what to do. And then the Jazz GM, Danny Ainge, guy who kind of built a lot of those Celtic rosters, he has said, I'm going to take Con if you don't take him, so that panicked the Hornets, and now Ace Bailey, who doesn't even want to be in Utah, is in Utah.
Yeah, that's really interesting by Ace Bailey. I mean, he didn't take regrets because he did not want to be in Utah, wanted to go to Washington, which, okay. Did not fly with Walter Clayton Jr., their other pick, to Utah. He is expected there Monday. I haven't heard word yet if he's made it there. I doubt it.
I believe I've seen that.
And then he made it
He's
to
been
Utah.
there, yeah.
Okay, so, but interesting stuff there, for sure. Then we had a bunch of different with Trey Johnson, go Jeremiah Fears. Let's get to the Suns, who picked at 10, who picked main man for way out west guy, center, Malawatch. Honestly, as a Suns fan, I'm actually looking forward to this pick.
This is who you
It's gonna
wanted.
be really good. This is exactly who I wanted in that position. I thought he was going to be gone at that point. We were going to get Cedric Coward, who actually went after Malawach, but he
What
stayed
about
around.
Yang? I'm seeing a lot about Yang.
Yang was really interesting just because nobody really knows anything like they kind of do, but like he wasn't on anybody's draft boards and they drafted him really high. So Yang was definitely interesting. The Chinese player that went number 16, I believe. Double check that.
Hey, bro, they said he's the
I think it was
truth.
16.
They said
Everybody's
he's the
been saying
truth.
that he's the truth.
That little
I don't know,
fadeaway
man.
spin, bro.
He went.
Thanks, my brother.
In the 20s. What else did the Suns do in the draft?
Suns ended up trading and picking up Mark Williams as well for our starting center role. Do not have any bigs, and that's a huge problem. So they end up trading their 2029 pick. They just received, and now we're back to square of not really having that many good draft picks at all. I mean, the draft went good. It went good. You can't be mad about the draft. But it's
Who's
just
the
gonna
next player you want them to trade, and who's the next player you think they're going to trade?
The next player I want them to trade that could be traded, I would rather them trade. I mean, Allen's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of shooting guards there. Not just saying because I'm not an Allen guy, but there's a lot of shooting guards there, and he's like the worst one out of them. So getting something out of him,
But
unless
is the worst one you want to trade, or because right, you can't. That's still a lot of mouths, and I don't
Right,
think
and
that
it's-
young kid's gonna want to come off the bench.
Jalen Green is they're gonna. I think what I've heard is that they're gonna maybe try and transition him into a full-time point guard, but that's what they said about Beal. I mean, Green could go as well for a nice package of some picks. Who I realistically think I really hope the reign of Devin Booker isn't over in Phoenix, but I kind of feel like it is. I kind of feel like that they're gonna stick with Jalen because he's so young, and try and build a younger squad for the up. So be bad for 2 years, but hopefully you can pull like an OKC where you've got now all this assets and try and flip it and make it restart. But as a Suns fan, you want to stay competitive. You hope they don't do that. But I think Grayson Allen's a good guy to get. I mean, they don't have any money. I mean, the problem with the Suns right now is that they're paying Bradley Beal $53 million to not play. Out of the last 2 years, I don't think he's completed a season. Out of how many games he's played. So it's at this point, and he's at the player option next year, making $57 million, and no one's going to pay him that anywhere else. So he's going to obviously opt in. So it's a disaster, but Suns got a good pick. Good job for Malawach. Let's just talk quickly some winners and some losers. The biggest loser of the draft is 100%, without a doubt, the Pelicans, because they are one hell of a franchise. Okay, Jeremiah Fears, pretty good pick. Okay, actually he could be okay, but he didn't really shoot the ball well in Oklahoma. Very athletic, but you can't shoot the ball.
He's the new Kyrie. He's the new Kyrie.
No. But not saying he couldn't be. Now he's going to go off for them and eat those words. But the big one was the trade for the number 13 pick, Derek Queen. They traded their 2026 unconditional first-round pick, and they swapped picks for this pick for specifically Derek Queen. Very big, why. Like it's Derek Queen. I guess we really have that much faith in Derek Queen, who yes has a great touch, but is kind of doesn't do as much as well on the defensive end as he does on the offensive. But he needs to grow a little bit more in the game. And there's also the thing that I heard that he has some not like weight concerns. He's just a heavy guy, and he's going to one of the best food cities in the world. Look what happened to Zion Williamson, guys. Like this is what's happening in this franchise, and it's just they trade away a valuable pick for that is pretty unbelievable. But everybody else had pretty okay drafts. It wasn't anything crazy. Obviously Cooper's going to be the number one guy everybody's looking forward to. We'll see if there's some sneaky guys that come in for different teams. But just a quick recap there of the draft. We're pretty much going to be in free agency mode going here in fourth. There's some big names on the board. Some of them are currently re-signing, such as LeBron. That would be...
LeBron to the Knicks?
LeBron to the Knicks would be crazy. I know he wants to, be traded, I think. I mean, I heard that, but I don't really think 100. I don't know. That is hard. He's in LA, so his son's still there, and you're in LA. But, definitely do some more free agency work here coming in the next few weeks. NBA season's over. We're strictly basically baseball at this point, but let's get the other one out of the way with basketball, and then we'll get into stuff that has been happening currently. We've been doing the college basketball, the CBB Corner 3, for a while now. We did some of the top 5. We've done a preview of Duke University and their squad. We've done a coaching carousel, and we've done some new exciting players coming in. K-Stelt's back with us this week, so I thought this would be a great time to go over the Kansas Jayhawks, since there is 2 Kansas Jayhawk diehard fans here. Let's just quickly look at this roster, but it's built up to be like last year. Last year, first round exit in the NCAA tournament to Arkansas. Pretty horrific season, especially being ranked preseason number 1, and not only this year, but the following year, or the past year as well, being the preseason number 1 with Hunter Dickinson. That team is gone. Hunter Dickinson is gone. KJ Adams is gone. DeJuan Harris is gone.
He's not gone. He's not. He's a coach.
Okay. Yeah, not
He's back.
Is what it is. But hey, got a new squad to look forward to. The biggest name, obviously, on that list is the number 1 freshman recruit out of high school this year, and that is Darren Peterson. According to 24/7 Sports, I know on other sites they have AJ as the number 1, but according to 24/7, Darren Peterson is the number 1 guy. Lots of guys we looked at for Kansas might go to the transfer portal. There's a lot of scary moments that were like, holy crap, the big name, Flory Badunga, ends up coming back to Kansas to be the big man, that star big man for a Bill Self offense that thrives on a really great guard that can score and be a great passer as well to throw it up to the big guy, where Flory looked more athletic than KJ and Hunter Dickinson at times last year. You hear the frustration from K-Stelt and myself throughout all year last year about that, and finally he's going to be the number 1 guy coming in. So Badunga being back is great. Marco Jackson coming off an injury. We don't know about him. He was one of the best defenders in the nation before he had that injury, but he is coming back and should be pretty good, hopefully helping us, probably coming off the bench, especially because of all these new transfers coming in. We've got 3 big names in Trey White III, who's from St. Bonaventure. Yeah.
Trey White.
Sorry. Trey White's from Illinois. Melvin Council Jr. is from St. Bonaventure, and then Jaden Dawson is from Loyola Chicago. So those are the 3 guys, 3 guards, guard and then a forward coming in to Kansas to hopefully bring out some shooting. They've been looking for that for the past 2 years. It hasn't worked out for them, but hopefully that these guys can be those guys to, help out on the 3-point shot where Bill Self's teams have lacked in the past 2 or 3 years. We had a few key pickups from the freshman side as well. With Cole Rosario, who's supposed to be a really good shooter. He has flashy good moments but can shoot the ball. And then my personal favorite pickup is Paul Mbaya. He kind of reminds me of a younger Azubuike. Not going to be a huge impact player this year, but somebody that has the body build that Bill Self likes to create into a dominant center in college basketball. He's going to learn under one of the best center builders around in the nation, and I'm really excited about him. K-Stout, what's your just opening thoughts about the team? Kind of ran through it there, just quick run through. What's your opening thoughts on them?
Let's make sure everyone gets this completely straight. This team should not be ranked in the top 10 preseason, strictly because no one knows what this team has. There's only a couple of guys that are transferring over that were, impact players for middling teams. I guess Illinois wasn't really a middling team. They were above average, but Trey White was just kind of a less hoppy version of KJ Adams. He's a 3-and-D guy. Jaden Dawson's the same way, a 3-and-D guy. Something, which isn't the worst case scenario to get. Their defense is okay. It'll work in Bill Self's, system. But, at the end of the day, as a Kansas fan, a Duke fan, if you're cheering for a team that's supposed to be really good, you're looking for Cooper Flags, top to bottom, in your lineup. Like, that's just how it is. Darren Peterson's probably the closest guy you can get to Cooper Flag without being Cooper Flag. The difference is Cooper is just 6'10". He can do everything Darren Peterson can. And when you're 6'10", you're just better at basketball because you can score against anybody. Darren Peterson is going to probably be the best scorer Kansas has had as in a freshman since Andrew Wiggins. He'll probably be a better player than Andrew Wiggins just because his NBA prospect ability is just score and be athletic. And he can just basically do everything. His defense isn't, stellar, meaning, Bill Self stellar, but it does the job. The center position is interesting. A guy named Bryson Tiller, freshman. A couple KU guys have heard about him, seen him. This guy's kind of a stretch big man. He can shoot outside. He can play defense. He's kind of, that player that Alabama gets most of the time who can just kind of run out there and guard whoever's out there. He'll be a good center fill-in. He's 6'10", but he can still do damage. His length is amazing. I didn't like that one. Reverse back on that one. Melvin Council Jr. Is a guy that a lot of KU fans are going to love just because of his tenacity on the floor. But this Cole Rosario guy is very interesting. He gives me a lot of Johnny Furphy vibe, except for just an American Johnny Furphy. He's not as long as Johnny Furphy, but he definitely has the hops. He definitely has the shot creating ability. The dude just plays, tough, and that'll do well for Bill Self's program. It's kind of good that we have some guys that look like they can be impact players on the bench. We still forget about Elmarco Jackson, Jamari McDowell. I'm missing, I think... Who am I missing? I know Semis Caldron is a freshman that's coming in.
Yeah, Caldron is a freshman. He'd have a little bit of a time, but
I don't know, man. That's a 6'8" shooter right there. The kid's got some length on him. We'll see what happens. I'm not saying the KU should be the Big 12 champs because this Houston team coming in looks ridiculous.
Yeah, and you got BYU in there too. You got Texas Tech.
I will say I won't be shocked if KU does win the Big 12. Because they have this is like a Bill Self team from the past that has won those Big 12 titles, but at the end of the day, Bill Self wasn't playing in Big 12 leagues that were this stacked. Like at the end of the day, they were not. They were good, but those teams basically just had one or two players that were really fantastic. They didn't have teams that were stacked to the brim of NBA prospects. I'm excited. I'm sick and tired of the Hunter Dickinson era still being the last thing I remember about KU basketball.
Or not drafted.
He did not get drafted. He did not get drafted. Dewan Harris, which he was good for 2022, I'm glad he's gone as well. I'm glad a lot of those guys are gone. Bill Self did go the freshman route. We'll see what happens. He got his guys. He does have 3 returning players that did play minutes at KU. That would be Jamari McDowell, Marco Jackson, and Flory. So that would be fantastic to see those guys kind of be the thing 1 and thing 2, I guess in thing 3 for Darren Peterson. It'll be exciting, bro. I hope they do well because when KU's good,
it should be really
like
good.
listen, when Blue Bloods are good in college basketball, it is fun to watch. Like I remember when Duke had that one year where they weren't good, and it was kind of a bleh season. North Carolina not being good is kind of bleh because then it ruins the rivalry of Duke and North Carolina, and just KU not being a tournament team is kind of just lame.
Congrats to Caleb Love.
Finally. We'll see, bro. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, KU hopes will be really good. They are currently projected right now about that 15-16 mark in the preseason. There's nothing official out yet or anything. But let's quickly kind of look at the schedule. I thought I just want to do a blind ranking here from K-State. Not knowing everything, we don't know the Big 12 conference schedule yet, but most of these non-cons are out right now. I just want to get a blind reaction from K-State right here. P4, you can play along as well if you want to. So our first game right now is against Louisville, at Louisville, October 24th. Is that a win or a loss?
Against Louisville? I would.
Yeah.
That's a neutral site game or home game?
Is in Louisville.
It's in Louisville.
It's an exposition. Well, it's an exposition, so it doesn't really technically count.
Well, I don't really care.
So I didn't realize there's actually. Let's not do the exposition. So actually, their technically real first game, is against Green Bay, which is a total challenge, right?
That's
the
a tough
Kansas
school to
Jayhawks
beat,
in the
man.
very
That's
first
that.
game,
Yeah,
right? Win or loss against Green Bay.
yeah. It's gonna be a tough one. I think they're gonna battle it out, Allen, but I think they're gonna come away with the win there.
Yeah.
The tough team they're
Then
playing.
we have at North Carolina at Dean E. Smith Center. Win or loss?
It's a tough team to play. We'll see how North Carolina looks. I think KU's going to come in and win that game just because maybe they get some juice in them playing a Green Bay, that's a tough team. They may be tired from Green Bay. Their feet might not be underneath them the entirety of the game.
K-State has the Jayhawks at 2-0 going to the next one, which would be a battle. It is Texas A&M Corpus Christi in Allen Fieldhouse. Win or loss there against a tough team.
Corpus Christi, the one on the island. I think they're going to get that one there. They're traveling a long way. They have to travel by boat.
Yeah, that's a tough one for them. Next game, 3-0 for K-State is Princeton at Allen Fieldhouse. Kind of more, not a crazy challenge, but could maybe be a slip up. Do you think KU stays undefeated going into the State Farm Champions Classic?
Yeah, that'll be a tough one.
4-0.
Princeton does not have the Asian sensation on their team anymore. He did transfer to Miami. Was that the team he transferred to? Florida. Well, it was close enough. So they don't have that kid anymore, but that'll be a tough one playing in the State Farm Classic. They'll win that.
All right, now you got 5-0.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, 4-0 here. And we've got now in the neutral site Duke University in Madison Square Garden.
So I think
Going
Duke.
up
I think
against them,
I think
win or loss
I think
against Duke.
Yeah, I think Duke takes this one. I think KU's got to lose to a good team at some point. Duke's going to take this one. KU lost in a fraudulent way last season. Not because they played like frauds, but they did kind of. But you kind of got to lose to a bad team. Not bad team, sorry, P4. You got to lose to a good team once in a while. So I think they're going to lose to Duke in that neutral site.
Yeah. So we got one loss now, so at 4-1. Then we're in the players era. That schedule is not currently released. That is during your Thanksgiving, your feast week. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how that's going to work. Then we have UConn coming down Fieldhouse. So let's just pretend the players era doesn't work. We have KU at 4-1. How do you think they fare against Dan Hurley and the UConn Huskies in Allen Fieldhouse?
Oh, well, they're going to win Allen Fieldhouse. I have no doubt about that. Non-con games in Allen Fieldhouse are normally automatic wins. I could be eating my words right there, but that's a tough one to fade on if you're a KU fan. So I'm going to go KU beating UConn. Dan Hurley, you're a bum.
You've got 5-1 now for the Jayhawks. Now we are at the neutral site at the T-Mobile Center here in Kansas City, Missouri, against the Missouri Tigers. Do you have them winning or losing in the neutral site against the Missouri Tigers?
Well, we better win. We better not even this series up, man. That would be ridiculous. I think KU wins in the neutral site. KU's just got better vibes in T-Mobile than they do in Columbia, I guess. But yeah, I think they take it there.
Last year was just the Mizzou's team was good last year. Let's see if Dennis Gates can get that continuing to roll, but who knows about them. So you've got KU at 6-1, North Carolina State, NC State, Will Wade's team we're actually going to them. Do you have Will Wade's team pulling an upset here over the 6-1 Jayhawks, or do you see the Jayhawks winning that one as well?
I think I see the Jayhawks losing that Will Wade series. I think North Carolina State's going to be good. I think people are going to be blindsided by how good they are. Will Wade's a good coach. If you guys don't remember, he was a former LSU coach, got fired because of all the stuff he did there. Had to work his way back to the D1 level. Will Wade's got a couple players that KU wanted at NC State right now. A couple of those guys can definitely beat that KU defense, in my opinion, since we're not really sure who our big man defender is, like stretch big man defender. So we'll see what happens there. I think NC State beats us there.
So you got a 6-2 here. There's 2 more games left on the schedule. It is Townsend at Allen Fieldhouse. Pretty obvious one there. You think they get past Townsend?
Yeah, easy one against Townsend. Townsend, they can come in, they can bark and stuff like that. But I think KU's going to feel that loss against NC State.
The last game that's currently on the schedule for Big 12, obviously conference schedule has not been released, but it is Davidson at Allen Fieldhouse. Do you have the Jayhawks winning that game going into conference play?
Yeah, you have to win 2 games in a row before you get to conference play. That's just the rules. I didn't make them up.
A little bit of momentum.
Yeah, you gotta win. That's what they do. They schedule the bums to come and play you before the conference. Get a couple wins under your belt before you go and play conference games. So yeah, Davidson, have a good day. Go get some food at Johnny's Tavern. Find some blue-haired girls and take yourself back home.
So there's a little bit of our preview for the Kansas Jayhawks. We're going to go look a little bit closer to actual college basketball time to start looking at the conferences and our rankings of that. We'll go over some of the top teams, breakdown of each team starting up next week as well. So that'll be it for our off-season stuff. Now we've got all the on-season stuff, and I know K-Stel has been waiting for this moment to be able to talk about his favorite baseball team, the Kansas City Royals. I know the main man from way out west is begging to talk about Juan Soto and the only team that matters in the New York Mets. K-Stel, the Royals.
Raise your hand if your team is sucking ass right now. Raise your hand. P4, raise your hand. Raise your hand. Just a little bit.
I'm not calling anybody sucking ass other than you and Jack Caglione.
All right. So P4 lies. He's lying right now.
Beat the Dodgers.
He's lying right now. I didn't expect to beat the Dodgers. I didn't. Yeah, but no. Let me go over the standings real quick. If you guys think I'm gonna cry, don't worry. I ain't crying. I know what the world brings me. I know what happens. This is a tough world, and you just gotta live in it. Guys, your best team in the MLB, well, kind of. They're tied with another team, is the Detroit Tigers. They just can't seem to catch a bad break. They're kind of the good luck Tigers. Something similar, I think I was talking about this, very similar thing happened to another Detroit team during the regular season. So we'll see what happens there, how God's working in Detroit. Houston, apparently they found their way back to being good again, like they always do. They're 50-34. They're leading the West. Congratulations.
They beat the Phillies.
What's that?
They beat the Phillies. That's how they got in first.
And the New York Yankees have been on a slide, I guess, a little slide. They've been playing a lot of bad teams and still losing for the Yankees, but they are 48-35 in the East. The team that's sniffing right behind them is the Tampa Bay Rays. They are red hot. They are 10 games above 500, 47-30. Junior Caminero, good player, good team. The Toronto Blue Jays decided that they are a good baseball team. They have good players, they have good pitchers, they have good coaches. They have an okay fan base. They said maybe we should win some games. We were supposed to be good last year. We were supposed to be good the year before that. And they just kind of stopped playing like that. Now they're playing good, so that's good stuff. The Seattle Mariners are, they're playing good. They're just not really winning a lot of games. I don't really know what their big issue is. The big dumper is dumping his load over everyone. The guy's going to beat Salvador Perez's regular season home run record as a catcher. He's only 18 away, so congratulations to Cal Raleigh for beating literally the worst approached hitter on the planet as a catcher. You should feel proud of yourself. Guys, right outside of the... this is where it just gets so stupid. Outside of the wild card is the under 500 Los Angeles Angels, who are hitting the ball pretty well. A lot of their rookies are just, playing, or young players, I guess.
Joe Adele.
Joe Adele's good. I wanted to trade for him last season, and I'm glad we didn't because he would have sucked wiener in the Kansas City offense. But he's playing pretty good. So is that Moore kid. A lot of their players are doing well. I think Mike Trout's just kind of hanging in there, just having a little bit of fun. Maybe they get to the playoffs. That'd be pretty cool. The Texas Rangers are still okay on offense. Their pitching is really good, though, so they're keeping it alive. They're playing better-ish baseball. They're keeping it around, though. The Cleveland Guardians are kind of pooping out like I always expected them to. They're 40-42. Their luck isn't getting to them when their bullpen isn't the best in baseball. Their bullpen is still pretty good, but it's not like the crazy elite bullpen we saw last season. They're 40-42. That's just what's going to happen. The Boston Red Sox don't know what's going on. They can't figure out how to do anything, but they're still 41-42, 3 games out of the wild card. Traded Rafael Devers. What a interesting trade that was, but we won't go into that because that's, for baseball nerds to do. Minnesota Twins are garbage. They are 40-44. Don't know how they're even staying alive at this point. But speaking of a team that's not staying alive, the Kansas City Royals, they are 39-45. They won one game at home in June. One game at home in June, I repeat. Not good. Their pitching was not the greatest of all time, so that's why they lost a lot of games. Everyone is bad except for Michael Garcia. Congratulations to Michael Garcia. Bobby Witt Jr. apparently still going to be an all-star, even though I don't think he deserves to be an all-star, just based off of what I'm seeing. He is Aaron judging.
So who's the Royals all-star?
It's Michael Garcia, for sure. The guy's the only one who deserves to be on an all-star team. Bobby Witt Jr. is fine, I guess. He plays good once every 5 games, but other than that, he's an all-star talent, needs to be an all-star talent most games, and he's not. But we'll get in the reason why I think Bobby Witt's not playing well. The Baltimore Orioles are 36-47. They're still cheeks, so we'll figure out what's going on there. Athletics are 34-52. They have some studs, but their pitching's garbage. And the Chicago White Sox still have yet to win 30 games, so that's pretty cool. Looks like we have 4 teams that are going to be selling the AL. A couple of other teams are going to keep trying to fight for that way. The sellers are going to be the Kansas City, Baltimore Athletics, and the Chicago White Sox. National League's pretty easy. The Dodgers are the top dog in the West. Chicago Cubs are the top dogs in the Central. They're kind of sniffing. They're hanging around with a couple of good teams as well. The Phillies are 49-35. They're not playing good baseball. I don't care what anybody says. Their record is garbage. I don't believe what they say. The New York Mets are 48-37. It's a good record if you're in the AL, but we're not in the AL, so they're kind of hanging in. Frank the Tank might have a heart attack and die here soon. Shout out to God. Milwaukee's 47-37. They keep playing their bullcrap ball of Tinker Tanker all the time. And the Cardinals are 47-38. They're kind of hanging around there. The Dodgers are buns now. I don't know how that happened, but every one of their star players is not starring right now. The San Francisco Giants have figured out that their bullpen cannot carry their season. The Cincinnati Reds are kind of playing Terry ball right now. They're 44-40. Their pitching still kind of if. The Arizona Diamondbacks still don't know how to win a baseball game. They're 41-42. The Atlanta Braves are the funniest team of all time. They're 38-45. Miami 37-45. They just won 7 games in a row. They were 30 wins seven days ago. Washington 35-49. Pittsburgh 35-50. They were 31 or 32 a couple days ago. And the Colorado Rockies have yet to win 20 games. They're 19-65. P4, what about the Mets is going on? Are you worried? Not at all? Just kind of in that June slump that most teams go through? Just a June slump?
The pitching looks awful. Injuries have been a thing. And then the hitting is just getting worse and worse. Juan Soto maybe had the best ever single month of any Mets player ever in history is something I've seen. This June for him has been incredible. It's raised him from a league average or maybe even like a slightly above league average hitter to now he's hitting like how we thought Juan Soto would be hitting. Broke his own record of most home runs in a team's first 81 games. I think he had 20 last year. He's already 21 this year, and he was slumping early in the season. For the pitching, you had Griffin Canning go down. Frankie Montas, who didn't do good in his rehab starts, had a good first start for the Mets last time we talked, but got shelled today by the Pirates. What was the thing I sent today? This is what Gary Cohen said on the broadcast after the game. The most lopsided 3-game series in the 64-year history of the franchise. The Pirates outscored the Mets 30-4. 9-1 the first game, 9-2 the second game, 12-1 today. So it's not looking pretty. The Pirates have an NL worst offense. O'Neal Cruz looked like a god. Andrew McCutchen had like 8 RBIs this series. He hasn't done that since like 2012. And you know what? Best of luck to the Pirates. We'll see what they do. But this is not looking good for the Mets. They did have a tough series. What kind of started this drought was the big Dodgers series, which we kind of came out of looking good. And then we played the Rockies, and we beat up on some bad teams. Then we had Philly Braves, played the Rays a couple times, played some good teams. We did not look good. Something that was brought up on the broadcast by Ron Darling, he said that it seems like teams are managing against the Mets like it's Game 7 of their World Series, just like throwing up all their best players, all their best stratagem every time they play the Mets, which is maybe something I'm used to as like a Duke fan, but not necessarily a Mets fan. And we were hot to start the season. I think we were 21-9, and since then we've been under 500. So, and that's early in the season. Like, good thing we had that big of a lead. And we're only 1 game out against the lowly Phillies, but Atlanta can get hot, and they're not too far below us, and they already have the season lead. Washington, I mean, their team looks good. They have a couple all-star snubs.
Their pitching sucks.
Hopefully get in there. That is true. We'll see. Mackenzie Gore might figure it out. I'd like Mackenzie Gore on the Mets is what I really want. It is the struggle bus right now. Eric Chavez, the Mets hitting coach, has been getting a lot of flack. I know the Royals probably have some stuff about their hitting coach. I don't know if Kyle wants to get into that, but Francisco Alvarez, who was sent down to AAA, he's been hitting like a Greek god down there. I mean, I think he's been down for 3 games. He has 3 home runs and 2 doubles. Like, he's batting out of his mind finally. And he got away from Eric Chavez, I guess, is kind of the thing. We have a lot of young guys with a lot of options that are in AAA that are killing it, but they're almost too young. And then we have some old guys who don't have options, who are just sucking in the majors. So we can't send them down unless we want to get rid of them for the season. Maybe you try to package some of those guys for a trade, maybe like a Taylor or Trevor Rogers, one of those guys. Maybe a Lugo or a Matz if we want to bring into the Missouri talk. But it's a little worse than cautious optimism now. Now you can see the boats burning, but you just hope that they're able to put it out. It could get real bad real quick. I mean, I think we had Luis Torrens batting in the 5 hole last week. Like, it's turning into a mess. They don't know if Brett Beatty's a second baseman or a third baseman. All they know is that he's the best lefty hitter on the team. But they have Sterling Marte only to DH against lefties because he's a righty, but he can only hit righties. So it's like up is down, down is right. It's fucking upside down. So we'll see what these Mets try to figure out. But it's kind of a struggle bus right now. I will admit.
BC, what have you seen for the Royals? Been watching? Been seeing anything? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I've been watching. I went to the game the Friday night. I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, it's on a way lesser scale than what P4 is trying to say with his team, but like it kind of feels that way as Howard joins the fun here. But it's kind of the same way where it feels like they've got Garcia, who obviously is our best player, playing right now. Bobby's still playing well, but obviously he's not being as good as he was last year. Vinny's doing all right. He's definitely gotten out of that slump a little bit. And you got some young guys, but then who else? Like, you can get guys on base, but we can't get anybody home. Like, it doesn't, like you see it over and over again consistently. Like, when we were playing, like, I was watching the game. I mean, when we were up, we were down 4-3 or whatever early Friday, and it was like, it was 5-4. The Dodgers had 4 hits, and the Royals had 9, and we were losing. I mean, like, that's just the common thing with the Royals this year. They just can't find any power in any of these bats. And you got guys like Rave coming and playing, like, in the normal rotation is, like, not helping. Like, it's like they're just trying to experiment and try and figure something out, but they need to find somebody at the deadline. They need to find a veteran bat or something to try and turn this around, because I think they thought it was going to be Salvi, and it was not Salvi. So, but it'll be definitely interesting for sure the rest of the way through.
Yeah, some interesting thoughts there from PC. Glad you got out to the game on Friday. I was at the game today, and, it was whatever. Nick Howard, thanks for joining us, brother. We'll skip all the romantic bullshit. How are the Cardinals doing? What are your thoughts on the Cardinals? I know you've been kind of up and down with them, but it seems like you had a good weekend, a good, weekish.
I would say up and down is a good way to summarize that, honestly. It was a good start for the Cardinals to the Cubs series. That was 4 games. And they looked pretty good, especially against a division-leading team. But the other 2 games weren't that great. They got smoked pretty much, where Garrett Hampson, former Royal actually, was pitching for, I believe I'm echoing, which is kind of crazy, at least in my ears. But I'm pretty confident in how they've been playing lately. And, I think that the last series against the Guardians was really good. I think that they did pretty good in terms of really just offense for sure. The offense looks back in general. It was a couple of rough games against the Cubs to end the series, especially Shota Imanaga's return on Sunday. No, I'm tripping. The last game of the series against the Cubs. So I think it's not bad. I do think I like where they're going. Brendan Donovan is going to be an all-star. He's going to be a reserve, unfortunately, which is crazy, but that is the modern-day world of all-star voting. Other than that, I think that I still believe that our best chances at improving really are young pitchers coming up. I don't think we have a lot of trade value going on, maybe getting something for Helsley, but that's not going to have us compete. It is what it is. It's a weird situation, weird season overall. Not a lot of anybody expected us to be this good. So yeah, that's my modern thoughts on the Cardinals so far. Not bad, but still no expectations to be great. So if they fall in a slump from here on out, kind of like they've been doing a little bit before the Cubs series, it is what it is. But I can't say that I'm upset with them.
Just got to get in. Just got to get into the dance to have a chance, and that's all you can ask for. The Cardinals
Experience for the young guys is most important.
It's big time.
I mean, we have three very similar performing teams. I mean, obviously the Mets lost.
I would
lost the series to the Cardinals,
like
didn't
to
we?
counter
And
that
it's-
and say no. We have two similar performing teams, and one team is below expectations on one side. But continue. Sorry.
well, the Mets are incredibly below expectations. The Mets just got shelled by the Pirates.
their record says differently, in my opinion.
After
I
a
mean,
team
really-
meeting,
Yeah,
after a team meeting, they got to redo
well,
the team meeting.
yesterday.
Don't-
Yeah,
no,
yesterday
don't
the
do team-
meeting
don't do
was
team
We'll buy
meetings.
2 pepperoni pizzas. And
Don't do team meetings.
Mark Gooden, who I kind of want to shout this guy out. 1 second, Marky Mark's saying there's no stream. I said it is.
Marky
what
Mark,
the
there is a
heck?
stream. Look it up.
I'm looking at it.
Marky Mark.
But Mark Gooden, who's a funny guy on Twitter, if you're a Mets fan, he had a tweet that said, "Yes, to all of you asking, no media members were allowed in the players only meeting." So, yep. We don't know. We'll never know what was said in that meeting. Like I said, Soto's doing hot. But we have 2 teams that are underperforming. Really, the team that's overperforming is the Cardinals, and they're right in the mix. But then, like Howard's saying, he almost wants to sell this deadline. So it's
It's weird. I mean, what do we buy? Like, who do we? What do we go after? I guess.
DeGrom.
Like, I don't even know. I guess a starting pitcher. But then like, oh, let's just cancel the rebuild for our new general manager. Make it legendary difficulty on him first season after Mozeliak dips for doing nothing all off season. It's so weird. It's a weird season for sure.
I will say that the
baseball,
3 teams in this conversation are all around the similar ceiling level, in my opinion. I'm not saying that the Royals are the ceiling of the Mets, but anything like that. But they should be better than what they are, and I think the Mets should be better than what they are. And at the end of the day, the Cardinals are better than what we expected them to be. But when we look at that lineup again and go, okay, well, those are some good hitters. Those are some good players. We don't really look confused at the end of the day. Should the Cardinals be better with the lineup they have and the players that they have on their roster? Sure. And in the end of the day, Howard
That's
isn't.
the other side.
Howard
of
didn't.
the
Yeah.
pitching.
I will say one thing. P4 brought this up about Alvarez, and congratulations to Alvarez for hitting well in the minors. Couple of things that the minors has that the MLB doesn't have. Number one, there's no such thing as dead balls in minor leagues. There's no such thing. Those balls are the same balls that we've used for most years in major leagues, and Rob Manfred has decided to put these dead balls into the game and completely screw with a couple of teams, because some teams some games have dead balls, some games don't have dead balls. It looks like the Yankees don't have a lot of dead balls, but that's another conversation for another day. But that's not an excuse for teams to not be bad. I'm just saying that there's a couple of launch angles and miles per hour off the bat, and it sounds like a nerdy thing to say, but when you hit a ball a certain speed at a certain height, and there's supposed to be a certain distance on the ball, and it doesn't travel as far, it's a bit odd. So that's kind of jiving with a lot of MLB nowadays. Like, I'm seeing a lot of players from different teams hit the ball really hard and it's not going out of the ballpark. That's kind of lame, because they're trying to bring in the contact rate of the ball. The problem is that defenses are way too good and pitching is way too good. Regardless of what you think, pitching is way better than it was even 2 years ago. It's way better. We might have looked at DeGrom and guys like that and said, man, those guys are really good pitchers. Overall, pitching is way better, and defense is way better than it was 2 years ago. That was a short amount of time. But the AAA, it's hard to decipher. I've been doing this with Royals AAA players for like 2 years now, because the Royals decided to do this cool thing where their minor league stadium in AAA is built like Great American Ballpark, and they use dead balls, so everyone's stats are crazy high when they hit. And then the minute they come to Kauffman Stadium, they use dead balls, and they're playing in God's green earth, with the outfield being the farthest distance away forever, and they can't hit worth a crap. And that comes with the guy who runs the whole ship, and that is Alex Zumwalt, the clown himself. If you guys haven't heard, Alex Zumwalt, the head hitting coach for the Kansas City Royals, decides to go on Twitter and go to a couple of Royals posters. Not even guys who are journalists. These are guys who have normal 9-to-5 jobs, work in insurance or whatever, and he DMs these people and calls them out and says, you shouldn't be talking bad about me. And then decides to put in some wide receiver bullcrap statement saying your negativity fuels me. How negative do we have to get, bro? The Royals are dead last in barrels. They can't hit fastballs. They are the worst fastball hitting team in the major leagues by far. They have less runs scored than the Pirates, than the Rockies, and those teams are garbage. They are awful. They are the worst at bacon. They have the worst slugging percentage. The only thing they can do is hit for average. Congratulations, fellas. You can hit for average. They have the highest chase rate. They have the what else? But they also have the highest contact rate. Congratulations. They're 30th in home runs, and they're 30th in walks. Sadly, today's game isn't about hitting the ball all over the place and having a defense fumble the ball. This isn't the 2015 Mets, where they had a bunch of home run hitters and couldn't field the ball. That's over. The Mets can field now, and they can hit home runs and hit balls and take walks. It's done. You can't hit the ball all the time. You cannot be a good offensive team with the highest chase rate. It's impossible. It is simply impossible. And you also can't be a good team when you cannot hit a fastball. I watched Bobby Witt Jr. see 5 or 6 or 8 fastballs today, and he did not make contact with one of them. There's only 2 players on the team who can hit fastballs. That's Maikel Garcia, who, by the way, is one of the best hitters in the American League for an infielder, and Drew Waters, who can only hit a fastball. That's it. And the only other thing he can do is make okay enough contact and run to the base well. Congratulations. 2 guys can hit fastballs. Everyone else can't hit fastballs. Now, if you're going to sit here and go, well, Kyle, that's just the players. The players have to be better at hitting fastballs. I'm so sorry. When a teacher is teaching a bunch of students that are A+ students for a long time, and all those students get D's, but a couple of other kids just know how to do the math problem correctly, that teacher fucking sucks. I don't care if the teacher is telling the right things, he knows everything, he's read all the books, he knows all the science behind it. If the teacher cannot get the kids to be good at the class, he should be fired. And then when he goes to the students' parents and start talking bad about them behind their backs, I don't care about how good he is and does anything. I don't care about the buddy-buddy situation with all the players. I don't care if he was a hire from the Atlanta Braves back when J.J. Picollo was a Braves guy. I don't care. I don't care. It is sickening. I cannot continue to watch this team play this bad offensively. Bobby Witt Jr. has way too many tools to be this bad of a hitter. His stats can say whatever the heck they want to. He is not a good hitter. He is awful. He is Aaron Judge, but more when it comes to merchanting in the low leverage situations. That's what he does. That's all he does. Jack Caglione has the greatest power we've ever seen in Kansas City history. And he has a 53% ground ball rate. How does that even happen? And do you know what he does? Remember back in the day when you were in the cages and you couldn't really get the hit, you were kind of in a funk, and you were kind of stepping forward a little bit to get that power, and your dad said, hey, just sit back and just let the ball come to the bat. You know that good old time where you just kind of sit back and let the bat and the ball do its thing? You know what this guy Alex Zumwalt does? He looks at his big fat computer and looks at StatCast and says, well, his interception rate at the front of the plate is bad. That means he's getting on top of the ball too early. So instead of telling the kid, hey, just calm down. Just swing the way you were. Because the swing you had got you into the majors. Pete Rose said it the best. Your swing you have got you into the majors. But Alex Zumwalt thinks that if you tweak your left hand and step back and bend down a little bit, then maybe the ball will have a better launch angle. That's what he does. He tries to overcomplicate the whole situation, and it's a bunch of horse crap. I literally saw this Mach 12, Mach 5 different version of swings from this Twitter guy. What are we talking about? Jack Caglione can just hit the ball as hard as he can, and if it goes a little bit higher in the degree angle, it's out of the ballpark. It's not that hard. But Alex Zumwalt thinks if we just put his shoulders all the way like this, and then he swings, then he'll go out of the ballpark. So my one recommendation to JJ Picollo and Alex Zumwalt, if you're listening, I dare you to DM this podcast or whoever and tell us all the dirty things you want us to. But I don't really care what you do. I don't give a flying monkey's ass what you do the rest of the season. You guys could score 100 runs every single game and win the World Series. I don't care. I want you fired. If you make the trip out to Seattle, I will be shocked. Because it is unbelievable. I don't care if Bobby loves you. I don't care if Salvi loves you. I don't care who loves you. I don't care if your wife loves you. You need to be fired. You need to be fired from the organization. You're a scum. You talk bad about all these people on Twitter. We don't exist, bro. We don't get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this job. And you're sitting here talking bad on people who don't matter. We're fans. We don't really have a say in what you guys do. So before you destroy Bobby Witt Jr.'s career, because that's what you're doing. Bobby can't hit a fastball. How can you not hit a fastball in the major leagues? Oh, but we practice every day hitting curveballs and sliders outside of the box with this little machine we got. What are we talking about? You know what you do? If it's a slider and it's outside of the zone, you don't swing at it. It's called pitch recognition. We've all been taught it since we were in middle school. But no, we have to practice that thing. The only thing the Royals can do is hit a slider that might hang a little bit in the zone. Congratulations, guys. You can do anything else a major league hitter can do. Even MJ Melendez can hit a slider that hangs a little bit. And that's really hard to do for MJ. But since we practice on so many minute details, we have completely forgotten how hitting works. And now we have to sit here and watch Bobby Witt Jr. stink, Vinny Pasquantino not know what the hell he's doing because he's telling them to not swing and to swing here and your barrel's got to get on. And what's going on? Jack Caglione was hitting perfectly fine, and then Alex Zumwalt came in and said, maybe if you took your shoulders this way and you stepped a little this way, you'll hit it out of the ballpark. Alex Zumwalt has been with this organization for a long time. And the only reason we gave him a promotion was because MJ Melendez and a couple other guys were hitting home runs in Mickey Mouse Ballpark, Omaha. Congratulations, Alex Zumwalt. And the only season that you got credit was 2024 Lucky Go Happy season, where the Royals just so happened to be the best team in runners in scoring position. Remember when pitchers were really bad when no one was on base, and then they were really good when people were on base, and then everyone was like, that pitcher can't last, he can't last, he just allows too many guys on base. It's gonna happen, he's gonna give up a lot more runs. You know what happens? A lot more runs get given up. So then when the Royals all of a sudden decide to hit with runners in scoring position, that one season they have a magical, oh my goodness, they made the postseason, they got all this stuff. Congratulations to the Royals, 106 losses, and now we are in the playoffs. And then we get to next season, and no one can hit with runners in scoring position. I wonder why that's the case. Probably because Alex Zumwalt is a clown, and he tries to do all this funky stuff with everybody in contact rate and chasing out of the zone, and we don't need to hit home runs. The ballpark's too far. We don't need a walk because walks don't matter. How can you score a guy if he's in runners in scoring position with a walk? You can't do that. You have to hit the ball to score him. You can't take a walk. That's his philosophy. It's been his philosophy forever, and we just so happened to get lucky last season, and now Alex Zumwalt is stuck in a position where JJ Picollo probably is blackmailed by him or something like that. And if we fire him, the whole season's screwed. Everyone's going to cry, and they're going to want to get traded. Who cares? I don't really care. If someone wants to get traded because Alex Zumwalt got fired, see ya. I don't care if you're Bobby Witt Jr., bro. See ya. I don't care. If you love Alex Zumwalt that much, go buy. I don't care. I don't care. I'm sick of watching my guys not walk. I'm sick of my guys not hitting home runs. It's sickening. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Alex Zumwalt, goodbye. Leave my team. Leave Major League Baseball. I don't care if you go to another team and get hired and you have the greatest offensive season forever. I don't care. I hate you, Alex Zumwalt. You don't matter to me. You don't matter to Royals fans. And I would care a little bit more about you, and I would go back and forth like I normally used to go about you. But now you're talking about fans and DMs, and that's the saddest little boy crap I've ever seen in my life. Anyways, 317 was pretty good.
The Kansas City Royals version of Frank the Tank, everybody. Great movement there from the guys as P4 is getting his ready to talk about the UFC 317 with his mic. We didn't get to quite look over everything that happened the week before, but it wasn't really that interesting. But we did have a very interesting card this week at 317. P4, main man from way out west, had his heart broken, ripped out.
317 was
stomped on.
actually all AI. None of it actually happened. Joshua Van Royval happened,
yeah.
but everything after that was AI generated.
Just
It
barely
was,
happened, huh?
yeah.
The Gregory Rodriguez over Jack Hermanson knockout didn't count either.
That was a murder. That shouldn't have
Yeah,
been
he
televised
died.
on
He
ESPN
died.
at all.
P4, you're muted. Yeah, the fight's gonna be pretty good as P4 fixes his thing here. Yeah, hearts were broken. El Matador. Pretty dang
Yeah,
good.
Gregory Rodriguez is a kind of a baller, and I will look at the numbers going through this. But 317 International Fight Week, Las Vegas, Nevada. Charles Oliveira, Ilya Taporia for the vacant lightweight championship. Islam Makhachev was stripped of the title, wanting to go up and fight at 170. Bilal, I mean, there's a bunch of lore with this fight, and there's a bunch of lore after this fight as well. There's a very interesting storm of brewing in light.
Muted again.
His mic's just cutting out part of it. Those are the lightweight, but the lightweight is definitely the stuff that happened interesting. Go look at some of these early prelims here. Jonata Diaz beat Alvin Hines with unanimous decision. These are early rounds, and then Jacoby Smith did beat Nico
You have no
Price.
idea what you're doing.
Yeah, you're right. So I'm trying to keep talking, but maybe so his mic would work.
No, early in the kind of before this fight, during the weigh-ins, you kind of faucet running.
Yeah, basically. I don't know why.
So before the fight, during the weigh-ins, we had an issue. We had a guy signed to the UFC to make his debut against McVeigh. And
4 days short notice.
Yeah, he did take it on short notice, but he also did tell the UFC that he can make weight.
But didn't Orball, it was a catch weight for that reason, basically, and they still went on with it at catch weight.
Not in this
the
fight.
week before. Yeah, the week before.
Yes,
though.
yes, the week
Yes.
before, but that's going into. I think it was a thing, and he was a part of the Contender Series, and they were kind of giving him a shot. Obviously, the UFC does more stuff behind the scenes, but it is kind of a funny thing that, okay, you have an opponent, you have to weigh in between X time and X time today, and your opponent gets on the scale before you, he's 10 pounds over, they cut him from the roster, and now you have to weigh in, and he still made weight, and he ended up getting his bonus, his show money. But let's take a look at this. So UFC 317, Jonathan Deniz, Alvin Haynes. Alvin Haynes, who's only been training MMA for 4 years, gets to open up the International Fight Week card. Total strikes 112 to 83, takedowns 1 of 10 for Haynes, who's kind of a wrestler, I guess. Trained, but has only been training MMA for 4 years. Significant strikes, 82 of his 83 strikes were significant, but 112 of 112 of Deniz's. I think this was a pretty close fight. I had Hines on our parlay. He was an underdog. He kind of just ran out of time, I think is the best way to say this fight. Kind of heartbreaking for me, especially with the parlay going. It's always sad when the first fight and you're like, oh well, throw this whole thing away, I guess. 1 second, let me switch this up, and then in the next fight, kind of rounding out the early prelims, Nico Price got killed by Jacob Smith. Jacob Smith, the biggest favorite in UFC history pre-fight. Bigger than Bo Nickel against Paul Craig, bigger than everything.
Wellmaker?
Everything.
No way. Wellmaker was a
Swear to
4,000.
God.
Wellmaker was 4,000. I could.
What was said on the broadcast was pre-fight.
Well, so does
biggest-
Dana White having the
yeah, and he breaks
gross.
the record. Everything.
Yeah, breaks every week.
So I don't know what stats we're supposed to go off of, but I will say during the broadcast, that's what they said.
Jacoby
Um,
Smith is a good fighter, but his stamina is rough. He was really good in the first round, but by that third round, it looked like, please
finish it in
God,
a second.
end this kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Nico Price. It's tough to say because maybe he emptied his gas tank thinking he was just going to whoop Nico, and Nico has a little bit of a chin. I mean, Nico's a UFC fighter. We did kind of predict the kill of Nico. It was a good submission, got on top, full mount guillotine, but his Joe Rogan interview in the cage afterwards was silly and ridiculous. And why did he do that? He just screamed Joe Rogan in response to every one of Joe's questions. And I think at the end he called out somebody or just said, give me the next fight or something.
Post-fight interviews can be crazy, dude. Like,
Yeah, well,
it
yeah,
is
that's
funny.
the whole point is that, like, and we'll get to it, but Dariush ruined possibly the greatest thing that could have happened all night, which would have been a Moicano victory speech. But, yeah, that was an interesting one. By Jacob Smith. I still think he's a good fighter. Nick Howard, I agree with you that we have to work on that stamina because if he's going to be going into some 5-round fights, because I mean he could open up an Apex card in November if he had to.
I'd be cool with
Or,
that. He looks like a good
the
fighter
main
for
event,
sure. Yeah.
right? And
No, he's a
5-round
good
fight. I don't know
prospect.
if he's going to be ready for that. But moving on up the card, Terrence McKinney did kill Borshilev. This guy who got smoked by Chase Hooper in his last fight. It was over in under a minute. Terrence McKinney landed one punch and then took him down and choked him out, and that was it. So that was another good. I think we had McKinney by KO, but McKinney did get the finish. He was a pretty good favorite. Then we had the best fight of the night, Tracy Cortez, unanimous decision. Looked really good in her wrestling. Viviane Araujo, she's an incredible Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter, Brazilian black belt, and Tracy Cortez stood her ground the entire 15 minutes. There was a bunch of takedowns throughout the fight. It says that she didn't even attempt a takedown and didn't attempt a submission.
I've been
That's
petting you,
not
dog.
true. But Tracy Cortez, you're beautiful. I love you, and you did great at your fight. She then also joined the fight in the crowd afterwards, so she didn't really get beat up all that bad. Kind of the thing that happens in women's flyweight is even if you do have two incredible strikers or grapplers, they tend to go the distance. So we did have Cortez moneyline, Cortez to win by decision. That was the truth. 102 strikes to 39. Holy smokes, Tracy. Moving on up the card, we had Emil moneyline on our ordeal, but Jose Miguel Delgado. Emil did have an interesting moment right off the bat. I mean, obviously, there's a 26-second finish. But right off the bat, Emil attacked the legs, picked up Delgado, and kind of like dropped him on his head, which got my blood pumping for exactly 13 more seconds before Jose Delgado smoked Emil. I'm like, oh, geez. But it was a good fight. It was two power punchers. We did have this as part of our will not go distance parlay, which I think hit. Yes, we had Denise versus Hines to not go distance, which did go the distance. I mean, this fight, they were just waiting for someone to knock one out. And I was like, oh, please, Hines, please, Hines. And I'm like, okay, well, at least Denise knocked him out. And then no one did. And I was like, damn. But then we move on up the card. Smith did not go the distance. McKinney did not go the distance, and we did not have the Emil, but we had the next fight. But this was a good fight. Hyder Emil, who was the underdog, but I believe was 8-0 going into this, or 9-0 going into this. He'll have to find a fight to work on that. Jose Miguel Delgado did call out. I don't think a fighter, but he said that he wants to fight on the Noche card in September. So that would be awesome if they could get him on that. He looked incredible in that fight, and good luck to both these fighters going up. Jack Hermanson, we were looking at it, has had some incredible fights. He's fought
He's
some
a
of the best
really good
in the
fighter that just
middleweight.
like dips out for like a calendar year and then comes back and like puts up good performances.
And we were thinking about it, and we're like, well, RoboCop's so old. And I look at it, and Hermanson's 37. You're like, oh my gosh, Hermanson's old. Like, you just always thought Hermanson. It's almost like the Rafael Dos Anjos thing. We're like, Dos Anjos could fight any contender, and you're like, oh, Dos Anjos is actually 57 years old.
Fights
It's
so rarely. Like he's
I
there, but
see.
it's like so spaced out.
And
compared
because
to
of
the
that, you
rest
can't
of
really
the-
take him out of the rankings, but he just sits at 13 for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
But Hermanson,
Started
like a
off good.
37-year-old man. Yeah,
Started
landed a
off
couple
good.
punches.
Yeah, he did pretty decent, but then that.
I mean,
punch,
30 to
the
18, so
power.
yeah. But
Yeah.
Gregory Rodriguez, the RoboCop, he is just so. I mean, he's RoboCop, right? He'll take 6. He started punching himself in the fight. He's like, no, I don't even want to fight him until I get a couple shots. There's a couple clinches that Hermanson got the better of. Significant strikes went to him, but I mean, RoboCop just walks you down, man. Puts those fists up. Good grappler too. Some good exchanges on the ground. A couple scrambles. No takedown attempt. I guess 0 for 1 on takedown attempts. I don't know how I like these UFCs. Maybe I gotta start keeping my own stats, keeping book on these UFC fights. But KO, and then Herb Dean, just kind of waiting in the background, I guess. On this one, I mean, Herb, get in there.
That's classic Herb, man. Just one ground and pound, and then it's the most insane thing possible to Herb Dean once you like actually hit him on the ground.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do? I mean, what is Herb thinking, that he's gonna like go down and do like the 20 micro strikes? Because if I'm the fighter, that's the only thing I would do is the one.
I mean,
Right?
maybe
Get it
he
over
just,
with.
maybe he just takes so long to realize that the guy is just unconscious on the ground. You know, who knows?
He's working to his feet. Let's move on up to the main card. Opening up the main card, Peyton Talbot versus Felipe Lima. I think I agree with the decision. Looked good.
Oh
in the
yeah,
wrestling,
100%.
Peyton did.
Lima didn't do
yeah,
bad,
Peyton-
but
Lima
Lima
like
had a couple.
did
Yeah,
good.
Lima had a couple
this
of
was a
moments.
phenomenal Peyton
Yeah.
Talbot fight.
Yeah, we
If you were to
should
go by moments, though, like good combinations, Lima may have the edge there. Like there was it almost seems like the inverse of the Royval Vaughn fight, where if we look at the stats of the Royval almost like
He set like a
Words
record for
skip
punches
up.
landed. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
yeah, in a 3-round fight. I mean, he had 216
Yeah,
to
it was-
209.
I mean, we'll get to this. We need.
Yeah,
This is like
getting
to the end of the movie.
But
before
yeah,
we even,
Talbot looked really good.
the takedown
significant
defense
strike.
I thought was nice too, compared to his
Yes.
last fight for sure.
Look,
That
well,
was
yeah.
what made me happy for him.
That's the switch, and it's not really like a video game. We're like, right, we watch football week to week, right? And 1 week, Will Levis is like, oh my gosh, actually, he might be the quarterback of the future. And the next week, you go, why is he even employed by any football team anywhere in the world? So
Pretty much, yeah.
maybe Talbot, because Talbot was a good wrestler, but after his last fight against a guy who ended up getting another win, he beat Cody Garbrandt. I forget the guy's name, but he's got the fused neck. Kind of turns to the side a little bit.
Oh,
But
yeah, Barcelos or something like that.
Barcelos, Honey Barcelos. Thank you. And Peyton Talbot looked awful in his wrestling, but then against Lima, he looks like a world beater again. So maybe it was just a bad day for Talbot. I mean, Barcelos didn't even look that good of a wrestler. I think Cody stuffed some of his takedowns, and I don't want to say Cody's a better wrestler than Talbot because I think that's not true. But maybe it was just an off night for him. He had the bad night, and now he's going to come back. I mean, obviously, he was working his way up the rankings. Joshua Van, similar. Joshua Van got flatlined by Charles, not Charles Jourdain, Johnson. And now he's back and he's going to be fighting for the title next. And we'll get to that right after this next fight. But yeah, you never know with these guys. Like fighting isn't just and nothing is in life and none of these sports. And that's something we have to keep in mind, that maybe these first take guys, they go, nope, that's what happened in LeBron's last game. This is the guy LeBron is until proven otherwise. Where it's like, no, life is kind of about growing and there's stuff that goes down and up and whatever. But Talbot had a great night. We did have Lima money line. Didn't go our way, but we bought into the lack of. And Peyton Talbot likes getting his back taken by Frank Ocean. Moving on up the card, we had the pick'em fight with Badil Dariush and two old mans. Renato Melcoin over Badil Dariush. Moicano should have ended the fight in the first round. What happened?
I don't know. He just had his chin is just unbelievable. Had him done and then survived.
And then I was fine.
Dariush
round.
is just a
Over
guy
after
that
that.
you have to go for the kill, man. You
Yes.
just have to go and
Overwhelmed
constantly go after
Dariush.
him.
Overwhelmed Dariush.
Yeah, you have
That is the game. And it worked in the first round. And then even after Dariush got the takedown in the second round, I'm watching Moicano, and he's just resting on his back. I go, you know what? I'm cool with this. Catch your breath. Don't do a whole bunch of stuff. Rest on your back. If you're going to come out in the third round and start swinging, but then he did the same fucking thing. And you go, what? You won the first round, no question. You lost the second round, but you didn't really take any damage. You were just getting... But then in the third round, if you're going to do the same fucking thing, then why'd you even waste that second round? If you only had that much of a tank, and I know hindsight 2020, and we're armchair jiu-jitsuing here. Trademark dudes in sports right there. Armchair jiu-jitsu.
It's like when I'm yelling at Tank
definitely.
Davis, the best boxer in the world.
We'll talk about the press conference. Did you see when Canelo and Crawford were sitting there? They were talking about how many kids they have. And I think it was Brett Okamoto or something. And he asked like Canelo a question. He goes, "How many kids you have? 3 or 4 or 3?" And Canelo goes, "I have 3. I have 3 kids." And then Crawford goes, "I have 7." And Canelo, who tries to say a character, broke his neck turning to Crawford. He goes, 7? 23 baby mother. Real
Canelo,
bad,
man.
man.
Canelo's English.
Oh, I love it. Now that Canelo speaks English, he's my favorite boxer of all time. Hey, fuck you, man.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
But Moicano, I don't know what else to say. You said that he deserves a title shot.
No, not even
I
close.
think what you do is Gaethje versus Dariush. And if one of you guys like actually does something cool, maybe we'll let you fight Patty to see if you maybe get a title shot. But if that's the route you want to go, but yeah, it's a choose your own adventure book. If you just want to give good fights, that's what Joshua Van did, and we'll get to that. And I mean, gosh, that is just such an incredible fight that you can really pull it into anything. If anyone has a fight that flipping good, then you'll get your chance. You can't just sit back and watch yourself go up by one in the ranking because you get a whole bunch of unanimous or split decision victories against a whole bunch of 30-year-olds and then go, okay, well, now I beat all these guys in the top of the thing. You got it. And let's just get into this next fight because it was probably fight of the year. This should be
Definitely
redone
fight of the
as
year.
a 5-round fight. I think instead of going to the judges' scorecard, they should have gone to a sudden death 4th round because one of those guys was going to get knocked out in the 4th round.
I mean,
You
that
gave him another
knockdown at the
2
very
minutes.
end was clutch. That was so crazy. Roy
Yeah.
Ball, man.
100%.
Roy Vol was just like, oh, that was the worst thing that could have happened right there. It's just getting a knockdown.
I
in the
totally
last
thought he was
10.
going to win it, but when he got knocked, I was like, oh, he's fucked.
over
'Cause
now.
it's
Royval-
literally that tight, man. That was
God,
crazy.
he's just right.
God.
He's a
Both
he's
of
a
them were just
vato, man.
zombies walking forward, dude. That was so crazy. The whole time when I was watching that in public, I was just like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And it was constantly going like every round.
Even if you
Like,
don't
dude.
even like know anything about UFC, like you enjoy that fight. Like if you just
yeah.
like
That's what you want to see in combat sports.
Yeah.
Just straight action all the time. Trade like a Mexican fucking boxing brawl, bro. Just no defense, just constant swinging. Just crazy back and forth, dude.
Yeah, and the combos. The one thing that I saw was Van had maybe the higher quality of shots, where Royval was right behind you with 2 more.
Yeah,
Van,
it was
Van
a
went
lot
in
of
with a good
jabs
hook,
from
and then
Royval, but
Royval,
yeah.
two little strikes right there, which is a great game plan. Like they both. That's why it sucks that someone had to win at the end. Like this fight should have been. No, whoever gets knocked out is the winner. Not whoever wins on what some guy said, because you can't pick a win. These guys, they both killed it.
You
They
hate to
went
see either
insane.
guy
Yeah.
lose, but yeah, that's
And
just it's a
Royval
game of
shouldn't
it's
fall
a
in
game
the
of,
rankings. I mean, he's the
No.
number 1 ranked guy.
No, yeah.
He's the number 1 ranked guy. He took a fight against the number 12 ranked guy. He lost to the number 12 ranked guy. And the number 12 ranked guy gets the next title shot. I mean, Royval smokes Cara France. I don't know what Cara France lost to some unranked guy, beat Steve Erceg, and then gets a title shot. So I don't even know if Cara France deserves to fight Royval. And I'd hate for them to do Moreno Royval in September, but that would be such a banger, dude. Royval Moreno. Oh,
the
my
flyweight
Lord.
division is just so crazy right
It
now.
might be the
under
deepest.
Pantoja.
And Pantoja might. It's almost like the welterweight Usman thing. We're like, Colby's a killer, Masvidal's a killer. All
I
these
mean,
guys are killers, but
Yeah,
no one can
welterweight
beat
is
Usman.
nuts.
We'll,
I don't know about
we'll
no
see.
one can beat Usman. I mean,
Well,
Sean
that's
Brady.
at the,
we'll,
at
we'll
the
see.
time
We'll see.
was. No,
It's a
no,
lot
no, no,
hypothetical.
not,
No,
no,
at
no,
the
not
time,
now.
at
Now
the
he's
time,
at the
when it was
time.
Oh,
Comparing
fair,
the
fair,
70 to the 25.
Yeah.
Where you're like, 70's got killers, but Usman is the killer of all killers. 25's got killers. Pantoja, he gets all these guys out. He put, I mean, how many times was Kai Kara afraid? Are we good? Was anyone else want to get
No,
a couple more
no,
things
it's
in
good.
about Roy
It was an
Van?
insane fight. Yeah, simple.
Great.
as
I mean,
that.
well done to both gentlemen. Good
Yeah, I
luck
think
to
he
both
said they were
teams.
getting
No
both of them
negative to
getting paid
either
out.
guy for sure.
But we look at Pantoja. Cara France didn't even deserve this fight. He made him look like a child. And
Yeah,
the
it
problem
wasn't
is
even
that
close.
Pantoja's one of those kind of fighters where he's not going to do a Terrence McKinney fucking punch you one time, put you on your ass, then choke you out. He needed to go all 3 rounds. He needed to take Cara France into deep waters. He didn't lose a single second of the fight.
Nah, I mean, it's just it's
Carl
like new
France-
blood. Besides, when they were on the Ultimate Fighter or whatever. Like this, I think this is their first one outside the Ultimate Fighter because they face each other there. But now it's like kind of new blood. Who can? That's why they put like Kai Asakura, who I still think is good, but that's why they threw him into the fire just to be like maybe this random guy can take down Pantoja. No,
I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
But
I
even
don't know
Cara
who
France, like
can.
he's not the kind of fighter who's lucky. That's like if you say, okay, Derek Lewis for the heavyweight
still,
championship.
you gotta
because he
try.
knocks
You
people out.
you can always Leon Edwards and Usman.
He's so silly. And I don't want to make this about his culture if he is a part of that, whatever, but he is pretty white presenting as far as that culture goes.
I mean,
It's
New
a little
Zealand.
silly when you watch him. Yeah, but like, Tuivasa, I get it. With him, it's like, are you cosplaying a little bit, man? Did you grow up in the burbs and you're just like, no, I did the haka once in 3rd grade, so I'll get this tattoo. Yeah, whatever. I digress. But Pantoja, he's a killer. I think that like figure 4 when he has his leg wrapped around you and he's just squeezing the life out of you and he's punching you and elbowing you from the top and you're like, I don't want to be. I want to be anywhere else in the world. I'd rather be tied to a stake being burned. Like this is the worst thing that anyone could ever have on another person. And just a tiny little bugger too. I mean, he'd do that to any human on earth, I think.
It's not even like the simple fact of a takedown defense. It's almost like Oliveira where he's just like on you.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, it's horrifying for anybody that's facing him.
Ugh. Yeah, incredible by Pantoja. He's deserves to be number 2 in the pound for pound rankings. He asked for it. He deserves it. He's number 9 right now,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Gotta
It's almost
shoot
like the
up.
Demetrius Johnson thing. I'd want him to sign Demetrius Johnson just for that fight. I think there's
It's too
enough
much
hardcore
far
UFC
out of
fans.
his prime for it to be. I mean,
Yeah,
you kinda wish
it's.
it
I
had
don't
been.
think
Dema-
DJ
Johnson
falls
is
out
like
of the
a
prime.
trainer. Like he's not.
I don't
He's
know
way
if DJ
past. I think, yeah, it's just.
I would too. I'm a big Mighty Mouse guy too, but I don't.
It would be
think-
nice when he was just getting out of one, but now he's
Would
totally
we
moved on. I
hold
think.
it against, like, if we made sure as the fan, because DJ's one of the guys.
But
who
then we're
listens to
just
the
we're
fans.
Dana Whiting this all again. Who can go? Kai Sakura from Japan. Somebody. You know, like we just gotta put Josh Van. It's gotta just be this rotation until we find someone, or maybe he moves up. I think he said he doesn't want to move
Yeah,
up.
he doesn't want
Which,
to.
like,
And
it makes sense. I guess
God,
he's a
he
small
might
guy.
beat Merab. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
But Merab,
that would be
oh,
crazy. Both
that
those
would
guys
be
are
insane,
nuts.
right?
But yeah.
Now we move on to the main event. Ilya Taporia, is this guy like have
God,
some sort
the
of
legend
hex
killer.
on him? Or
So bad, dude.
it's the greatest 3-fight win streak maybe
Oh,
in UFC history.
100%. The way it finished, not even streak, like
Like
17
knocking
the
out
performances.
Holloway and knocking
15
out
knockouts.
Charles
and Volk.
and Volk.
Fucking
I mean,
Volk.
I'm sorry it has to be you. Like, this guy's
We-
possessed.
he's
We
unbelievable.
just deep down knew, and I even said it. I was like, "This is a fight I want Oliveira to win, but I so respect Topuria and that damn
Can he get a
left
knockout
hook.
at 70? I think that's the only question now.
Dude, his body weight is nuts. I mean, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. After that, I mean, he just one punch, babe. That left hook is so devastating. It's almost like just he's got that Poetan tag to him at this point. Where like,
Yeah.
you do not want to get that hook
But
to
he's
your
loose.
face.
Like, the Pierre thing is that he's stiff as a board, and that's how Izzy caught him.
Yeah,
But I mean, he
and
looks like Connor pre-Coke.
Ilya.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, Ilya's like, well, he's also like started off being like a jujitsu specialist, which is crazy.
Yeah,
to
he
think
never
So
about
he
uses
because-
just
ground.
doesn't have to worry about
Yeah,
that. He knows that if it
yeah.
goes to the ground. So that's really what it is. That's more of like a mental aspect because he has hands of stone. He has a gift from God. And Joe
he
talks
uses
about
his
this in
body
press
weight
conference.
to go, and it's that body weight punch when you go and like use that force and torque. It's just lethal. I mean, that
Johnny
punch
Walker
was
doesn't have that
absurd.
power. Like, it's like a thing from God. Like, it's how are some people blessed with this? So I guess what we're saying is if we're playing matchmaker, Tom Aspinall versus Ilya Taporia.
Tom Aspinall's rib cage just explodes from the height
no,
difference.
I think Tom Aspinall powerbomb is my prediction on that one. Tom Aspinall might
while
powerbomb.
Alex Piera is going after his legs and they're double teaming him.
Jeez.
Oh man. Yeah, he's
Charles.
just a legend killer, man. Charles, man. It was a good effort, and he started off decent. Like he had the leg wrapped up. I was like, okay, we're getting a little something. But then all of a sudden, he was just wiggling out of it. I was like, this is gonna get bad once it gets back on their feet. And yeah, man, that's the thing is just you gotta know how to trade, and you gotta know how to like. I don't want to say take the punch, but like somehow evade it or something to like parry. I have no idea. This guy is just he's already one of the greats in this sport for sure. Like it's absurd. There's nothing we can do
Unbelievable.
but just accept
It's
it.
the meteoric rise of Connor. I mean, he has the same tattoos. He has the same. He said the balls on the chin. So let's think about this. And Ilya said it right. And apparently Arman missed weight as the backup fighter. And Dana said no. Paddy Pimblett is the
This-
fight to make if you want
Yeah.
the sport to grow tenfold.
Yeah. Just the entertainment
This
value.
this is as high as it will get. Patty's on a roll. Patty killed the last guy he faced.
And
Chandler,
I think
sure,
the
but-
problem that Dana has to wrestle with, see, right, and then like spouses don't get
Gosh,
knocked
he's
out.
such an English man.
The thing that Dana's
like
probably
Ilya said
thinking
in
is
the
it's
press
too
conference.
WWE to have Patty fight for it right
Yeah.
now, right?
Yeah.
But who else
But
is
at the
there?
same
All right,
time,
let's
that's what
go.
you got. This is what this
Armand,
sport
but Armand
needs.
missed
You
weight.
need.
I 100% agree with you. That's
Yeah,
what it
it
needs.
just we don't need the UFC to be on top. We need a fighter to be on top of the UFC. You know what I mean? And I think that like storyline, little villain stuff is exactly what is needed.
So if it's not Armand, it's not Charles, it's not going to be Gaethje, it's not going to be Max, it's
I
not going
hope
to be
it's
Dustin.
not Gaethje. That's the last person. No offense, Justin's
Yeah,
career.
Gaethje
but-
doesn't help him at all. Like that's
I want a
not
title fight or I'm gonna retire.
Yeah.
Retire, bro. Like,
That
who cares?
hooker, no way.
Hooker, I don't think so. Gamrot, I don't think
No.
so. Patty is right here. All of these are no's, absolute no's. Like Gaethje is 2B. Like he's the only one that even who doesn't have the fight booked. I mean, there's no reason to have Ilya fight Max again, and then Dustin's not gonna. Charles he just destroyed, and Armand doesn't deserve anything until he proves he can deserve it. So
He's got to
unless
fight
Armand
again.
beats
Armand's
Gaethje-
really good, but he's got to go. He's got to get his back.
Well, he's got to prove he can make weight. He hasn't proved he can fight anyone until they offered him the fight of the championship, and he accepted, and then he missed, and then ever since we don't even know if this guy can fight in the UFC. Patty would be so cool, man.
It would be the right fight to do, especially while Islam and JDM are gonna go and toe to toe. Like, yeah,
The one who
I think
creates
that's
it
what you gotta
is the
do.
one who will destroy it.
Like I
Stand
mentioned, I
alive.
will not be on next week, but next week we are off. And the week after, I might be able to get on from Maui next week, but the week after, I believe I'm in the air when this happens. Or do I land by the time? We'll figure it out. We'll figure out what my schedule is. But coming up, we have Teixeira versus Derek Lewis. This is going to be a banger right here. And I know
Yeah.
bangers. This is a banger, and I know bangers. Stephen Thompson versus Gabriel Bonfim. Calvin Cater versus Steve Garcia. Nate Landwehr versus
Lot of
Ooh,
whites.
Charrier.
A lot of whites. A lot of whites.
Nate
Nashville.
Landwehr. Is that who I think it is? I believe so, isn't it?
Is that Thad Castle?
No, it's
He's a
not.
pretty good puncher, from what I remember. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say I don't think he's like that well known, but
What's Van Zant's
tough.
boyfriend's name?
Jesus. I don't know. That's a you
His name.
question.
Yeah. Me. Austin Lane versus Vitor Tafa. I don't know what twin's going to show up for this fight. Max Griffin, Chris Curtis on the prelims. Poor Chris. Kennedy.
Okay, interesting. And then Mike Davis. I don't really know.
Yeah,
personally.
so a decent Nashville card. We'll see what happens there. Good card coming up. But that kind of does it for the UFC right now. Nick Howard, give us your breakdown of the Eric Chavez Jake Paul fight.
I didn't watch it. More relevant news than
I didn't even know that was
Julio
happening.
Chavez Sr.'s son throwing no punches that entire fight. Like, I literally stood there or some shit. But Brian Norman, a guy who went over in Japan and knocked out a guy so badly. If you look up Brian Norman Jr., he knocked out a guy so badly that he lost 6 weeks of memory. Jin Sasaki is his name. Hopefully he's doing well in recovery. He's going against Devin Haney, who got whooped by roided out Ryan Garcia. So the date for Devin Haney's funeral will be in November in Riyadh. We take a moment of silence to know Devin Haney as one guy who was too wussy to take a loss, even though the guy was roided. Ryan Garcia, crazy man, but nonetheless, he turned into a no contest because he is a loser, and Brian Norman Jr. is going to probably make it even worse than the guy that he unfortunately destroyed his brain over in Japan. So there you have it for weekly boxing news from Nick Howard.
Everybody likes the 5-minute boxing segment. We have one more thing to do here on Dudes and Sports. Do a
Jesus.
smarter dumb for the start. I know Howard does have his Taylor Swift thing that he's going to do at a later date now because he was a little bit late. We'll have to put that on the Instagram, get that hyped up for the women to come on to
Right here.
the Dudes and Sports and watch the exquisite PowerPoint that
Did some research. I did some research, man.
Howard's gonna put on for us. So, for Smarter Dumb, we are starting our first week back up on. We have P4, Baby Man from Way Out West, as our host. And then you have the three guys out here. Our current season scores: I am currently have not won or lost, but I'm so 0-2-1. P4 is 1-1-0. Kyle is 1-0-0, and Howard at the bottom of the leaderboard is 0-0-2. So gonna keep track of that throughout the year. We'll come up with some not something kind of dumb for somebody to have to do if they lose the entire season. But we'll have to get to it. P4, might as well give us our questions.
Yeah, let me get one more down. Anyone want to fill time? Kyle, talk about Zumwalt.
No, I already did
Jeez.
that. I already did that.
I
bro.
could go. I don't know. We discussed the draft. I probably missed that if that was being discussed. But yeah, the Grizzlies. I liked what they did. They traded up Cedric Howard. You know, I think my mic's still loud as hell. But Cedric Howard, they got, who was a lot of people were high on him from Washington State. I like the pick. They lost their 2028 first round pick from the Magic. But nonetheless, I think the Grizzlies have had a decent offseason. There's still a lot of work to do. If this is the roster we're looking at right now, I think it's pretty stinky. But it's early in the offseason. Free agency starts tomorrow, actually in minutes, pretty much, technically. Other than that, yeah, Grizzlies, I'm looking forward to. Nashville Predators, for anybody that even has an ounce of hockey news, are forever cooked. And they took a guy that was projected 20 in the draft, number 5, because of vibes. He's had the it factor. And if you know anything about the Nashville Predators, we paid $80 million last year and still don't have a guy that can shoot the puck up forward. So glad we got an it factor guy that can be our center 3. And at least go Grizz, you know. On to you, P4.
All right, gentlemen, I got 5 questions for you today. I'll let you guys pick out what category we want to start out with first. I have 2 UFC questions, 2 basketball questions, and 1 movie question. What do we want to start with?
UFC.
UFC. All right, so fighting last weekend, we had Charles Oliveira, who has the most finishes in UFC history, also most submissions in UFC history, and most fight of the night bonuses in UFC history. However, one man stands alone in most knockouts in UFC history. Who is that fighter? Time starts now. If you maybe want to put out how many you think he has, then that could be a tiebreaker unless no one's close. But most knockouts in UFC history.
There's 2 people I'm thinking of, and I feel like I'm going to get it wrong.
Coming up on the final 5 here.
I feel like this is a
5,
bad answer,
4,
but I
3,
feel like it's closer.
2,
I also
1,
spelled his
and
last name wrong.
all good. Let's see it. I see a Alex Pieta. Alex Pieta. What is PC showing?
Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis is correct. Number 15. Alex
good
Pieta
answer.
doesn't have that many fights. Derek
Yeah,
Lewis is
I was-
definitely number 1. He has
yeah.
15
I totally thought
knockouts in
PC
his-
guessed that as
No.
I didn't know what it was. That's crazy.
I was worried
No,
that Pierre didn't
100%
have
Lewis.
enough fights.
That's
He's
all
the
he
knockout
does.
king.
That's all he does is knock people out, and he's had like over 30 fights. Yeah, that's all he
insane.
does.
I didn't even know that.
He doesn't go the distance. He either knocks them out or gets knocked out.
All right. Stick on UFC. Next UFC question.
Yeah, I'll do 2 UFC.
All right. So also this weekend, kind of the other side of that coin, was Ilia Topuria taking home the featherweight championship. His last 3 fights have been for the belt over 3 former title holders, and he's won by all 3 knockouts. In those 3 fights, which are all of the former champions he's ever fought, Alexander Volkanovski, Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira. How many championship fight how many belts did he beat with those 3 wins? Do we get what I'm saying here?
How many times all those guys won the belt combined?
Yes. How
Okay.
many defenses and wins of the belt has he won with
defenses
that?
Too?
Yes, defenses. Well, yeah, yeah. So out of all those, how many rubies in his belt has he gotten? If it was like a 0-sum game, and he gets to count those defenses as his.
I think I'm counting right. I don't want to count out
between
loud.
Volk,
I normally count
Holloway,
out
and
loud,
Charles.
bro. Holloway, Volke, Charles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Volky.
How many
I
belts
feel
do
like
we
this
have
might.
there?
I feel like there might be a trick, like a trick in this one as well. Maybe it's not as much as I think. This is a tough one.
Need any longer? You figuring it out?
I'm
I
good.
think
I'm good.
hopefully
All
I'm
right.
not like thinking of the
Let's see
question.
the number.
Oh, nice.
Oh, jeez.
I got a 12. I got a 7, and PC, you're holding up a
12.
12.
12.
15.
Wow.
You got 7 from Volk. You got 5 from Holloway.
7.
3 from Charles.
Seven had Volk.
He's that flipping
Volk had
good.
7, bro. That is
That's good.
crazy.
Yeah.
And you know what? If Volk
I
didn't
guess-
exist, then Holloway would probably have 12. So
Yeah, honestly. That's kind of the funny thing about that was like, huh.
I mean, it was just those two going back and forth.
I definitely did not
Poirier,
count
little
correctly.
sprinkle.
I did not
without
know
Volk.
much
So,
about
but
Volk.
yeah.
PC's 1-0, but let's move on. Now these are going to be two Duke questions here. First
Oh,
question
fuck
is,
me.
Duke had all 5 starters drafted this year in the draft. This is the 3rd time that a college basketball team has had all 5 starters drafted in the incurring NBA draft. Name the other 2 times, or whoever gets one of those 2 teams. What NCAA Division I men's basketball team had all 5 starters drafted? It's happened 2 other times other than Duke this year.
This year? Oh, never mind. I was like, what?
Yes.
Fuck. Oh.
This is a bad answer, bro. This is a
A squad
bad.
and a year, please. Don't just put the school's name and say and
Oh,
And
shit.
guess.
I don't even remember.
Wait. Could you ask the question one more time, like the full question? I'd like to know what I'm.
Duke had all 5 starters drafted this year. This is the 3rd time that that's happened.
Okay.
Name
I
the
feel like
other.
we'd be a damn year
name
off at
another.
least
Okay.
one of these.
I was
if it
thinking.
is
I
right.
was thinking like the first round, and now that helps me out.
Can we put like the team, like at least the player?
No.
Fuck.
Well, you want one player from. No, because that totally.
'Cause I
gives
can
it
be
away.
like-
Yeah, no chance.
Ah.
Because if I said Cooper Flag, then you would put down 2025 Duke.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
All right, do we have a guess?
I have my
Yeah.
guesses.
All right, let's see it. Just a really good team. 2015 Kentucky, 2015 Nova, 2018 Nova, Kentucky in 15, Memphis in 08, and PC. What are you holding up?
Kentucky in 2015, Nova in 2018.
No, you said UConn.
This is UConn. This is UConn. This is
UConn,
UConn.
UConn.
UConn,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what year?
2018.
2018. Guys, we had a couple Kentuckys. It was Kentucky in 2012, the Anthony Davis year.
Oh
Oh my! I
God, really?
forgot.
That was the year that I thought it was. I
Kid
was thinking
Gilchrist.
that.
Damn.
And then 2006 UConn, which I believe was Kemba Walker.
It was Kimball Walker.
Oh, with like Odin. No, that was Odin.
I know Kimball Walker was 2011, right?
Maybe that sounds close.
That's right.
Yeah, so 2012 Kentucky and 06 UConn. Interesting, huh? And I think the hang up with the 2012 Kentucky team, didn't they have 6 players drafted? Wasn't
yes, it was 6
D-Book on that
players.
team as
no,
well?
D-Book
That's
was on
2015.
2015.
2015.
I think
15
2015
team,
had
that's
the
right.
most
That's probably
like
the
all
15
stars,
thing.
like the most like Hall of Fame.
They lost. That was the team that lost to Wisconsin in the Final Four when they were undefeated.
And then
Yeah,
who
they
did
were
Wisconsin lose
absurd.
to and Frank Kaminsky?
That would be Duke University.
Jaleel Okafor as the second pick.
Jaleel Okafor.
Slow-footed Jaleel Okafor.
Then he played like trash in the NBA.
All right, and this one you guys are going to hate as equally, or if not more. You guys ready?
Sure.
How many current D1 or NBA head coaches have played or coached under Mike Krzyzewski?
Oh God.
D1
Bunch of
or
ass.
NBA? It's a big number. If you could throw a couple names on the list, if anyone could go blank for blank on names, then it would be awesome.
I only have one coach that I know off the top of my head. Oh, no,
What?
two.
Yeah,
But
come
I
on.
don't
Either
remember,
played
yeah.
for or coached under. Played for counts.
Oh, played for. Shit.
Head
Played
coaches.
for is crazy.
Most of them are coached under. I will say that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Here.
played for, I think, only adds. Yeah, not many. Well, I guess a lot of these ones that also coached under him played for. All right, we got guesses. Really just looking for a number here. If you want to go above and beyond, you can throw some names on the list.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know if that was like bonus points or shit. If we were like kind of close.
I'm ready.
All right, let's see it. 25, 12, and what is PC holding?
10. And I got names for you too. Johnny Dawkins, JJ
Yep.
Redick, Quinn Snyder.
Yep. That's
But
it.
That's all I've got for you, but then
All
my
right.
number is 10.
I have the team and the coach's last name here for you. I will give you. Nick Howard went way over. 11. Split the difference between Kyle and PC. Here are the coaches and the schools: Shire at Duke, Capel at Pitt,
Yep.
Collins at Northwestern, Dawkins at UCF. Tommy, I'm gonna the Harvard coach.
Oh, I had no
Merrick.
idea that guy was Duke.
Bobby Hurley at ASU, Paulus at Niagara, Blakeney at Howard. The Howard head coach is a Duke alum. Then JJ Redick for the Lakers, Quinn Snyder for the Atlanta Hawks, and Steve Wojo. I can't pronounce his last name either. Wojciechowski
I know Snyder.
is Utah's St. Louis.
Niagara and
Or not
the
St.
other
Louis,
one, I
St.
don't
Salt
know.
Lake City's head coach. So yeah, that's a fun one.
Interesting.
No points on the board. My Cousin Vinny's a good movie. Problem with
Oh.
Vinny though, when he goes to go represent his cousin, and he keeps on going to all these different hotels and spending the night at all these different. He keeps on getting into shenanigans. So who can name the most shenanigans that happen at the nighttime that stops Vinny from enjoying a full night's rest? Just a little one-word thing. I remember all the shenanigans pretty well. You'll jog my memory. So just put down a little quick sentence that lets me know that you know what you're talking about. How many shenanigans happened? There was one time when he was sleeping and this happened. There was another time he was trying to sleep and that happened, and so on and so forth. Who knows the most about Vinny? This way, at least someone's going to get a point. All right, we almost ready?
As I'll ever be. It's
I
been
don't
so long since I've seen this.
I haven't seen
I only remember one thing about this movie.
Doesn't have a 1 hour clean. All right, let's see.
I don't know anything, so I lost.
Marisa Tomei did. I think that counts for most of them. That's kind of like a catch-all. What's that say?
I got Pig Farm.
Just read them out for me, Kyle.
I got the pig farm, the squealing, the train, and then the howling in the woods at the prosecutor's hunting house.
Yeah, the owl. The owl.
The owl, yeah.
There was also the grain farm whistle.
Oh
That was
yeah,
the first one.
Or the
They also
lumber-
got
the
stuck
lum-
in the mud.
lumber
They also
yard.
got stuck in the mud.
Lumberyard.
Yep, the lumberyard. And then stuck in the. And then
I
they were
forgot about the
taking
train. That was the
breakfast
first one. That was the first one.
Yeah. Yep. What
All right.
in the heck?
Bad.
Okay.
Tough scores there, certainly for the dudes. The current score is K-Stel at 1, me at 1, and
Nick Howard joined late to go over.
might as well not even show up at this point. But
Marissa
hey, it is
Tomei.
what it is. There's plenty of time left.
Hey, Spider-Man,
for
where you going?
win.
Oh my gosh.
So, all right, that's gonna do Dudes of Sports. Let's do this a quick little whip around. Let's start off with K Steltzer.
Look at Vinadol, train horn owl fox. It was the
You took
pig.
second. Give him a point.
Oh, what's that? Is it me?
Yeah, K Stel. Yeah. What's your
Uh,
people?
I looked at the Apple Watch and the heart rate went up to 130 when I was talking about Zumwalt. So if that shows you how much I despise this fella, there you go. Other than that, man, just do something. I'll tell you what. If he gets fired, I'll be happy. That's it. I don't care if they win. I don't care if they lose. Fire him. I don't give a shit.
Howard.
Shout out the LSU baseball team winning the national championship in the College World Series, cooking Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina didn't do too bad, but the manager got ejected, and then Coastal Carolina wants to be a bunch of wussies and go, "Oh, well, the umpires ejected our manager, so this game really didn't count." And screw the freaking Chanticleers, whatever the hell they are. Irrelevant. Grayson McCall left your team, and he said he pissed Teal. So you guys don't really matter. LSU at the end of the day, dubs. Cade Anderson, projected top 2 pick, at least at the moment. He's a dog, and LSU's already out recruiting the best catcher in the world for anyone who cares. But nonetheless, LSU gets another national championship, and I hope the football team at least follows suit. Brian Kelly, we don't know, but hey, at least the baseball team stays consistent. So go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Main man from way out west.
We've talked about all the bad. I am 2 for 2 in championship games that I perform in. I won the 2024 men's season last year. I have won the 2025 co-ed season of Vashon Agrin Beer League softball. And I gotta be honest with you, fellas. I can get used to it. So don't expect me to lose anytime soon. I'm killing it. I'm probably
Call
Cy
out to the rest of
Young.
Vashon Beer League.
Yeah. If you're hearing this, great season by all teams. It was a tough season. We were never in it, but we were never out of it either. It was a very highly contested season. There's a couple squads and players that are get under your skin more than others. But that's how the game goes. The gamesmanship is the best part of it. Go out, enjoy the sun, touch some grass. We like watching all these guys, but it's one thing to talk all this smack, and and be Kyle and talk about. Remember when you were in the batting cages and your dad gave you advice that Zumwalt can't even give. But yeah, you're hitting your elbow. It's like the This Is Sports Center commercial with Van Pelt. And they're watching film after, and he's like doing this. He goes, "See, you're ducking your shoulder." He goes, "Am I really that much?" He goes, "I don't even know where to start with this one." And yeah, but yeah, I kind of kill it out on the old diamond with the 60-foot bases. 90-foot, I'd be gasping for air, about the halfway mark. But good thing it's only 60-foot. I ran around those real quick, and yeah, just expect me to keep winning, I guess, is the main point of that one. Thank you. Thank you.
The winning will continue.
Like, comment.
El campeón no me before. Yes.
This has been another great episode of the Dudes.
Yeah,
Sports
incredible.
Podcast.
Goodbye, folks.
Check us out at 9:30 Central Time, 7:30 Eastern, or not Eastern, it's Pacific Time, since I can't figure out.
Specific
yeah.
Ocean.
Yeah, Pacific.
Let
yeah,
me be
not
more
because I
specific.
Make sure we get that right. But yep. See you guys next week.
Wait, did we just get? Did Vinadol just give us bits? What's this?
Yes,
little
he
thing right
did.
here? Oh my god.
Yeah, he did.
Shout out Super Van Vinadol.
Number
Day one. A1 fan over here.
Wow. I expect a 32-cent Venmo tonight.
I gotta take it out of your last paycheck. Sorry.
Taxes.
That's what keeps the light
Yeah.
bill on.
Yeah, but I gotta do something.
Yeah, IRS, we do not get paid for any of this. I'm
None of
losing
this.
money on this deal.
How do you lose money when you put any money in?
Oh.
This time, this could be time I spend
0 to
worrying
0.
about Teixeira versus Derek
Derek
Lewis
Lewis.
in the 5-round main event in Nashville. I'll tell you this: it's not going all 5. Derek will quit before he fights in a 5th round.
This has been the Dude Sports Podcast.